Hello, welcome back to my channel, and yes, I am still catching up on classic movies that I've never seen. Unfortunately, though, this one didn't have audio description. So, I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of Paper Moon. I'm a blind film critic, so that's why audio description matters. Every once in a while, I do like to do still reviews of movies that don't have audio description, just so that people know what it's like for us that have to do that. It's not super fun. This one just kind of happened by accident. I was just kind of browsing movies and with my mom, and I knew Paper Moon didn't have it, but then when she saw it, she's like, "Oh, Paper Moon. I haven't seen that in 45 years." And I was like, well, I've never seen it, and I probably should see it, and honestly, I really just do not trust that anybody's just waiting to add audio description to Paper Moon. You know, like whoever that person is would have done it already. So I was just like, whatever. Let's go for it. So I just didn't realize there's a lot. There really is a lot. It's kind of a complicated movie. It's a great little movie. It's a terrific performance from both Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal. Maybe Ryan just got more comfortable with Tatum in the film. I've seen Ryan in other things, but I think Tatum's career just was pretty much limited to Paper Moon. I know she did some other things, but like this was the pinnacle of her career. I mean, she won the Oscar for this. So how do you top yourself for that, you know? And she's great in this role. But there were plenty of scenes where I didn't know what was going on. There were things that were written down on pieces of paper. There were things written. They're constantly looking through a box for money. If I wasn't watching this with like an actual human being who knows I can't see things and was trying their best to like fill me in, because there were several scenes where I was like, there's no one's talking, you know, just things are happening. She's like running towards the car at the end. No, I had no idea that was happening. I mean, I would have because eventually she would have spoken, and I would have been like, oh, wait, but then I would have been like, did he go back for her, or did she go back for him? You know, because I also miss scene transitions without audio description. So the only reason I was able to get through this was because I had somebody with me. I don't think this is watchable without a human, without somebody with you. That's my opinion as a blind film critic. Is Paper Moon is not really set up. It's not heavy enough in the dialogue. It doesn't tell you openly what's happening, what's going on, what are we doing. It likes to show you a lot. It does a lot of really cool shots with the director and a lot of setup and placing things so that the visual audience can see it. And it doesn't just spell everything out for you. So that's sort of where that's at. As far as the movie is what I was able to pick up on, yeah, it's great. I totally understand why this is a classic. It reminded me of great storytelling and how it transcends. It doesn't really matter how old the film is. If it's great, it's great. You can watch it whenever. Paper Moon is the kind of film that should have audio description because it is timeless. It doesn't feel like a film that's outdated in any sort of way. It still feels like a film that's representative of both the time in which it was shot and the time in which the movie is set. And those are both hard things to achieve. Even the iconic shot of Paper Moon, where Tatum O'Neal is sitting in the paper moon, I didn't get that because it's not in the audio description. So you miss the whole thing about the Paper Moon Cafe and like the whole reason why the movie's called Paper Moon. And it's kind of a bitch. And I wish that more people would take it seriously, audio description, and go back and actually add description to more classics. Go through catalogs. And I've seen some weird films. Like Turner Classic Movies has picked some weird classic films, like old films, to put audio description on, where I'm like, is that really a classic? I don't think so. And then there are other films where it's pretty well understood that that film's a classic and it doesn't have audio description. And then we also have tons of really shitty straight-to-video type releases that are getting audio description, which, cool. I'm all for it. I think every film should have audio description, but I hate the fact that we're prioritizing those films over genuine, amazing Hollywood classics that people can learn from. We're stopping both people from those generations from being able to reminisce and go back and listen to the films that they grew up with and understand what those films were and be able to follow them. And also, we're preventing a new generation of blind and visually impaired youth from being able to discover cinema. They're only able to discover the cinema that's accessible to them. So, if you're not blind and you sat through this review, of course, yeah. I mean, did you need another review of Paper Moon? But I did it anyway, because I realized that I have to this film is, if you look at me, you should be able to guess that Paper Moon is older than me. I mean, I haven't seen myself in a while, but I hope I look like somebody who doesn't look like the age of Paper Moon. So yeah, I didn't obviously get a chance to see this when it was in theaters. So yeah, I'm catching up on my classics. And I like to do that. I like to round myself out as a critic, so that way I have more experiences and able to share that with reviews of other films moving forward. But if I didn't have an actual human being with me, I would not have had the same experience that I did. And even that experience was rough, because for anybody who's ever watched a movie with a human being that's trying to do audio description for you, it's not the same as an audio description professional. It's something. Just like, technically, yes, robo description is something. But we already are blind and visually impaired, and it would be nice if the world could, meet us halfway and give us audio description instead of making our lives difficult by limiting what we can and can't watch. It's sort of like censorship in a weird way. It's sort of like somebody else is choosing what we're allowed to watch, and it's very weird. And I hate that. As somebody with a degree in cinema studies, I never thought I'd be in a position where other people would be dictating what I can and cannot watch. And I hate it. I just absolutely hate it. But I'm going to give Paper Moon an A. That's my gut instinct. Did I have a little bit of trouble following it? Sure. But everything I did follow was terrific. I mean, just because there were little gaps or I just didn't quite understand something, it wasn't the problem of the film. It was just the lack of audio description. So I found this on Paramount Plus. So Paramount Plus could step up and could add audio description to this if they wanted to. But if you're looking for, if you're like, oh man, I've been wanting to see Paper Moon forever, where is it at? It's on Paramount Plus. At least, it might be in multiple places, but I watched it on Paramount Plus. And that's it. My website's macmovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project and find movies that do have audio description, other than Paper Moon, which does not. Theadna.org is where you go to see what audio description narrators and sound mixers and writers and stuff like that are doing, and it's sort of got their biographies. It's like IMDb for them, but it's user updated. So that's it from me today. If you get a chance to watch Paper Moon and you can see, great, do it. If you get a chance to see Paper Moon and you can't see, try to watch it with a person. I hate to say that, but the experience will not be good if you don't have somebody with you. That's it. I'm going to review something else now. Thanks.